Welcome back to Casual Gamer Odds. As promised, we've got an invitational race for you, our 7th and final one for our 5th season on F1 2017. And I'm going to say probably our last. If we get the 1988 McLaren involved, we might take one of those on in the future. But in the meantime, we've got a Singapore checkpoint challenge, or we have a time attack in China. And let's do a time attack in China. It's a 2008 McLaren. We haven't really driven around in this one much. So, we'll try this one. I think we've done enough in the 96 Williams, and also Singapore, obviously, I'm a bit in the middle of that circuit, whereas I'm pretty decent here in China, I like to say. It's a circuit I've never retired at. I think, actually, that might be the only Grand Prix in this entire game that I've never had a DNF in. If I quickly scroll through my notes. Well, Germany, obviously not in F1 2017, but in F1 2016, I never retired from Germany, if we count that. And just scrolling through here, Mexico, no, I've had the one. Abu Dhabi, I got disqualified deliberately. So, I mean, yeah, China, the only Grand Prix that I've never retired from in this game. So, there's a bit of a tidbit for you. Alright, so this is a time attack, is it not? It is, yes. So, it was a time attack. We've got to, funnily enough, attack the time. We've got to complete the number of laps in the designated time, which is just over 5 minutes. And of course, they like to put a few obstacles in the way for us with some other cars to challenge our little buttocks in. As we have a look at the 2008 McLaren, I think this might be the first time we've driven it in the dry from memory. I think we had to do a wet one before, didn't we? And of course, as I've mentioned plenty of times before with this car, never involved in an official F1 game until this time around, given that there was no official F1 game in 2008. The car still steers absolutely incredibly, if I have to be honest. And I have to be honest that this Renault is giving me the shits if you won't move out of the way. God, it's got some good downforce on this car. Feels so good to turn into corners with. It's just sad that the top speed on this car is going to be rubbish. Whoa, got a bit of a slide coming out of it. God, I've never felt so comfortable coming down this corner before. This must what it feel like if we get a good aerodynamic package on our next team. Whoever that may be. Ferrari, not really. Red Bull, hopefully. Looking like it's going to be Red Bull, folks. So, watch this space as we look to finally have made our way up the grid. Whoa, that feels amazing. Beautiful livery on this 2008 McLaren. Of course, Heikki Kovalainen's race-winning car. Probably more well known as Lewis Hamilton's championship-winning car, but let's go the Heikki angle. Vodafone again, getting a lot of shameless plugs on in this game with this car, as well as, of course, the 2002 and 2004 Ferrari. So, both teams that they famously sponsored during the 2000s, they get a lot of publicity on. So, they'll be very happy with that. Anyway, and I'm going to repeat it again. Also, love the look of these cars. 2007, 2008, beautiful beasts. Even 2006 I would include in there, but more so 2007, 2008. Before they turned them back to being boxy. If these things had slick tyres as opposed to the grooves, they would have just been the perfect machines. And obviously not quite as fast as some of the other cars in history, but just amazing beasts to look at with all the winglets and the gills. And I say that every time I race one of these cars, but that's the truth. I love driving this car, actually. Somebody who's not really a McLaren fan, because I'm a Ferrari fan, but it still feels beautiful to drive. And they get a big slide. Oh, it's slowing me down. The acceleration not brilliant. Looks like I've got my teammate ahead of me. Another 2008 McLaren. There's a few of them on this track I can see. At least another two, including this one in front of us. And we are looking decent enough to finish this one. I feel as though we should finish it. I don't see why we wouldn't, unless I fuck up, of course. Might be able to put into rich mode for the last lap, I think. As we just cross down there, we will put it up into rich mode now. Just for the last lap, just keep an eye on it. Well, it's going through the fuel quite quickly there, isn't it? And get stuck behind my teammate. Of course you're going to brake on the racing line like that, like a cockhead. Why wouldn't you? Is that a 2007 Ferrari in front of us there? I feel we've all got C1 category cars this time around. Surprised I don't plan a 96 Williams right in front of me, as that's where they like to plan on the racing line quite often. It is a 2007 Ferrari just ahead. Tell you what, this might actually not be as set in stone as I thought it would be, because the speed is not brilliant on this car. And I feel as though we're going to be pushing the limit here to get across the line, particularly if we're going to get held up by a couple of cars moving forward. Got this car just ahead of us. There's another car ahead of that one, which looks like it's another Renault R26. And if we can just hold it through this section here. Again, it feels so nice and tight around this corner. 40 seconds now to get home. It's going to be tight, folks. It's going to be tight. What should be our last invitational race ever. Until we get that 88 McLaren in the game. Oh, closing speed not good there. Well, I mean, it's very good, but just not going to run into the back of that 2007 Ferrari. I think we might just have done enough here. Shall the fuel tank last? 12, 11, 10. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Alright, just got there. Alright, you know what that means. We've got the grand finale coming your way now in Abu Dhabi. That's it. And we're going to see where we're going to be on Season 6 as we enter our second half of our epically long career mode. Like, subscribe and comment. We appreciate all feedback that you give us. Bring on Abu Dhabi. Let's do this. Good night.